Inline icons. So within text, and I can show you an example here. If I just open up Acrobat. So this is a book cover that I designed for Thames and Hudson, Forgotten Peoples of the Ancient World. And it was quite complex. There were lots of maps and there were lots of references to places. So like we've just done with the character styles, I created different character styles every time a river was mentioned. I created another character style with an inline graphic every time a citadel was mentioned. That then kind of gets a little bit more elaborate in the book. They're just two, and the reason we did that is because each of the civilizations that were mentioned in the book opened up with a spread like this, which then had the map, and we wanted there to be a kind of visual correlation between the text. So these are region names, so Mesopotamia. So we wanted to bring the styles of the maps into the text. So we made sure that the body copy of the text itself was quite neutral, but then there was always a visual connection using character styles or inline graphics. So that then kind of scaled across the whole book, just to sort of help the reader, so help them navigate the content, because it was, you know, it's all quite abstract, and none of these places really exist anymore. So one of the devices we then used was this idea of inline graphics, and any graphic, you know, in this case, the logo that we had, I can copy and paste that and put it anywhere within the text. So you can have icons within a text file. And why would you want to do that? Well, you know, again, if you're moving things around, you want to maintain the association. You don't want to put graphics behind text and trying to align things up and have them as separate elements. Sometimes it's beneficial to put them together. And you've got to kind of manage the situation of when that's most useful. You know, one prime example would be if you have got all your sort of social media channels on your business card, rather than aligning them up separately, you can put them all within the text file. One thing to bear in mind is that you might have to, I always say, you know, it's one thing working with these tools mathematically, but you always have to use your eye to deal with them optically. You might have to make a few adjustments just to bring the balance back in. So for example, here, what I've done on this icon, which is 4mm and 4%, because that's what I needed it to be. Again, didn't need to have to measure anything, scale anything manually. I have just dropped a point on the baseline. So here, you know, we can move things up and down. I'd be very cautious and just use this sparingly, but in this case, it's kind of okay. If you've got it happening all over the place, it can cause you problems. So I would be cautious of use cases. I do it for, I tend to not use it for text at all. I make it work on the grid or otherwise. But in this case, with an inline graphic, just to bring the balance back in, because if I don't put that in this instance, it's kind of top heavy. It sits on the same baseline. You know, obviously I can make it smaller, but I'm starting to compromise legibility. So you can work with the negative space here and move it down a little bit just to balance things out.